And I did also 3 months and 3 weeks in prison because they gave me a condition not to be close to the prime minister. I was not supposed to be 300-meter close to the prime minister. So one time the prime minister was supposed to go to CBC Radio Canada, and we organized a protest around, and they arrested me saying that they have not respected my condition. And they put me in prison, and they wanted to release me with all condition. I refused. I said that no, I'm no more buying that condition. It is a prison.
So, hey, Alexa for Urban News, and I'm still at the Hotel Le Bon Entente in Sainte-Foy in Quebec City. Today is the last day of the National Citizen Inquiry in Quebec. After traveling all across Canada, this investigation is finishing slowly in Quebec to take the route and go in Ottawa. This investigation is 100% independent and publicly funded by the citizen. And before I go any further, please go over rebelfieldreports.com and make a donation if you really believe that Rebel News needed to be here to show you the other side of the story, because I didn't see one person from the mainstream media to tell you the truth. So today, we are here because you have a lot of people who did came to testify, and one of them is Amalega François. I don't know if you remember him, but he is the freedom fighter in Quebec. He is a mathematics teacher coming from originally from Cameroon, and since the beginning, he did stand for his belief. And because he was not complying to the health measure, François Amalega received around $100,000 in COVID ticket. He is here because he wants to share his story about what happened since the beginning of the pandemic. Let's hear his story.
Moi, j'ai émigré au Québec en 2012. Avant ça, j'ai étudié en mathématiques. J'ai eu l'équivalent d'un baccalauréat en mathématiques au Cameroun en
My
2000.
name is François Amalega Bitondo. I was not born in Canada. I was born in Cameroon, but I came to Quebec and in Canada on the 13th of March 2012. I am an immigrant from Cameroon. Actually, I'm already a Canadian citizen, and I have studied mathematics in Cameroon. In Cameroon, I had a bachelor in pure mathematics, and then I did a master in teaching mathematics, and I taught mathematics in Cameroon. And I did the immigration. I came here and I did a master in pure mathematics and algebra. Galois theory was my master thesis, and then I went through doctoral studies, but I didn't deposit my thesis. So I did a PhD exam, all the courses, and I was studying in arithmetic geometry. I mean, it is a part of number. It is number theory. So, but I didn't complete my thesis. But in the course, I started working in Collège Jean de Brébeuf, like a teacher. I taught there for 5 years. I resigned. First of all, I want to say that it was a great honor for me to be able to testify. And I have testified like a victim because I've been one. I've lost my job because of that. I've lost my my how can I say it, my social status because of that. And I mean, I have been pressured by my school, which is the college Jean de Brébeuf, because I was giving my opinion, and that was even on Facebook, not somewhere else. I was giving my opinion concerning the pandemic on Facebook, but I was having colleagues that were my Facebook friend, and that was already problem. And when I realized that the government was not opening the door for discussion about what they were calling pandemic, which have never been one, I realized that we have to disobey. So I was taking picture of myself in the metro without mask, and I was posting it on Facebook, and I was encouraging in my to the people around me that we have to disobey. Then what happened is that my school called me and they asked me to withdraw the picture and to obey what the government say, and I refused. So I had many tension, and it increases when I participated in in a curfew because the government reinstated the curfew, and it started, I think, on the 9th of January 2021. I participated in a protest there. The mainstream media, they were there, and we were not many. We were about 20 people. So they were filmed. I appear in many broadcasts in many different stations, and the people of my school, they saw it. So now they decided, they suspended me for 2 weeks, and they made me a lot of pressure. Finally, on the 5th of February, I resigned. I continued to protest. I was challenging the curfew, going to the police station by telling them that I'm not obeying, and they were giving me fine, and I was asking them to put me in prison because even though they give me fine, I'm going back again and I'm not obeying. So there are many things, many protests, many things I did. We did some action of civil disobedience, going into shop without mask, and many things. I've been in prison in the police station for one night many times. I have to sit down to count them. But in prison, I've done prison 4 times. One time I did 7 days in prison because I refused to wear the mask in the court. Because I was sentenced into a court because I went into a shop without a mask, and they said that I've done entrave à la police. And so I was going there for that judgment, and I refused to wear the mask.
Et nous avons le masque avec nous.
Ouais.
Vous avez votre condition et nous ne pouvons pas vous contraindre de mettre votre masque. Vous que vous avez votre condition, c'est correct. Mais selon le juge, vous êtes sous condition de mandat. Merci.
Je suis sous condition de...
Mandat d'arrestation.
Ok, pas de problème. Je vais attendre qu'on vienne m'arrêter.
And they arrested me, and I spent 7 days in prison, not police station, because I refused to wear the mask. So it is important to know that Quebec has done it, put somebody 7 days in prison because he refused to wear the mask. And I did also 3 months and 3 weeks in prison because they gave me a condition not to be close to the Prime Minister. I was not supposed to be 300-meter close to the Prime Minister. So one time the Prime Minister was supposed to go to CBC Radio Canada, and we organized a protest around, and they arrested me saying that they have not respected my condition. And they put me in prison, and they wanted to release me with all condition. I refused. I said that no, I'm no more buying that condition. It is a prison. So since I was refusing, I spent all that time, and they finally released me without any condition. I was having 4 cases. I won 2, and the 2 other one I didn't win. And to show that this is really a political, that justice is really a political business in Quebec, the four cases, 2 cases happened, and I had a sentence while in prison. And 2 other cases, they happened after I was released. But when I was released from prison, I had some interview where I said that I won 2 cases because I was right. And I think that is the reason why the other 2 other cases, I lost the cases. And they gave me a probation. I don't know how to say it in English. So now actually I am officially free, but I have $98,000 of fine, more than $98,000 of COVID fine. I want to precise that I will never pay them. And they are saying that if I refuse to pay, they will be obliged to arrest me. And I'm waiting to see the name of the judge who will sign that arrest mandate. Been really a victim, lost my job, my social status, gone to prison many times while I was only doing peaceful protest. When they locked us down in Quebec, it was on the 13th of March. So I was in the house having nothing to do. And so I was going to YouTube, Google, everywhere, typing COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, all those things. So I started learning the names of many people. Then I saw the name of Didier Raoult, a French doctor, and I realized that he was saying that he's curing people with hydroxychloroquine. And not only that, I saw that he was he was a professor, not just a simple doctor, or a nurse. He was a serious, one of the best in the world, even if not the best in his field. So I was surprised. And then when I saw it, I was happy because I said that there have been locked down all those things, and now there is a solution. So I thought that the leaders of the world will know it and then will change their mind. But I was surprised that while me, I was discovering Raoul in the second half of March. Raoul was already, they were insulting him, saying nonsense concerning him in France. So I realized that if somebody who have that scientific status speak and they despise him, they don't listen to him, it means that there is a problem. That is why things started waking up in my mind. So I made some research and I could see in the conference that there was a contradiction, because at the same time they were saying that they don't know anything about the virus, it is new for them, but at the same time they were making authoritative rules. That is, it does not have any sense. And with times, many contradictions were coming out. They say that you can go to a restaurant, you don't sit down. When you sit down, you wear the mask, or when you stand up. I mean, there were many different things that were not making sense. So yes, that is a bit, and there are many, many other things. We know the works of Ferguson that were wrong, the Lancet Gate, and the fact that that is a very simple thing to check. Even where we are today, where we can go in many places without any measure, is because people have been standing up all over the world. It is not just they are not the one who decided to do it. They are not the one who decided to give us the freedom. If we continue to obey what they decided, we should have been in lockdown now. They should have been telling us that we have to take the 7th dose, all those things. We should have been there. It is because many, many people stood up all over the world, and I am really proud and happy to be one of them. So I don't regret. I don't regret. And I'm convinced that things will not remain like that, because there are many things that have been exposed all over the world. The truth is coming, and the problem is that all the people that have decided to harm us, because that is what they have been doing, those people don't want to stop. So finally, they will be obliged to do some few things that will completely reveal their plan. No, I don't have any type of regret.
You have many, many ways to encourage our journalism, and one of them is to go over rebelfieldreports.com. On this website, you can watch other video, but also the most important thing is you can donate generously to help us to continue to show you the other side of the story. And also, don't forget, with Bill C11 that is here, don't forget to let us your email, because it's important that you keep in touch. Thanks.